I'd like to go over some of the examples on page 7 of your packet, and these deal with the product rule for exponents. At the top, I have the product rule. You have probably seen it before, but to be quite honest, if you ever get confused, I think the best thing to do is always to expand. If you look at number 1, it says x squared times x, and you think, what does x squared mean? Well, anytime you have an exponent, it means repeated multiplication. So x squared just simply means x times x. And then we also have another times x behind it. So we have 3 x's being multiplied together, which is better written as x cubed or x to the third. Or maybe you notice that you can just add the exponents when it's multiplication and they have the same base. And that's what this rule up here, the product rule, states. So let's do a couple more here. M to the third times m to the fourth, simply add the exponents and you get m to the 7th. The only thing different about this one is that you have numbers here as factors. They're also things that are being multiplied. You multiply them like you always have. 2 times 3 is 6. Done. Now you have an x cubed times an x to the 7th, which we learned. We just add the exponents, makes it a little faster. If it helps you to look at number 3 here and to rewrite it in a slightly different order, like maybe put the 2 first and then the 3 second, and then you have 3 x's being multiplied together, and then you have 7 x's, 7. Then you can see a little easier, 2 times 3 is 6, and I have 10 x's being multiplied together. Or simply say, multiply the big numbers here like you always have when it's all multiplication and add the exponents. So number 4, 5 times 3 is 15. A to the first times a to the third is a to the fourth. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. R to the third times r to the 8th is r to the 11th. Now this one's a little trickier. Think of that as a negative 1. There's no number over here, so you could say a 1 if you wanted to. So there's just a negative 1 I drag along for the ride, and I have x to the 5th, because 2 plus 3 would give me 5, and then y to the 8th, because I have a 2 and a 6. Number 7, we have a negative 6 as the only number here that has as a factor, so I'll just drag that along. And then I'll add the exponents. It'd be m to the 5th, and there's also an n. And the last one, multiply these factors like you always have. Negative 5 times negative 8 is 40. There are 10 a's being multiplied together and 6 b's. You're hearing me use the word factors. Factors is just a fancy word for factors are things that you're being multiplied together. And that ends the product rule for exponents.